Hi guys, it's PJ. I have my makeup on. I actually look like a human today. I have looked horrible all weekend, but I wanted to tell you about the absolutely amazing OBE I had. Unbelievable, like crazy pants. Okay, so I have talked about my spirit guide before, the one that's he's like Indian, like Hindu Indian, and I've seen him at all different ages, okay, like, and just I always thought in my mind, I guess I had always thought that he was from here, like maybe a past soul or something, but that he was from here, he was from, you know, this world. But no, so unless there's something like this that has happened here, maybe I should look that up. I'll look that up. But anyway, okay, so I once again was first off, can I tell you, I've been exhausted. Like, taking care of Cozy, dealing with all this has been so stressful. But this night, not last night, the night before, so Saturday night, oh my God, it was so crazy. So I became out of body very quickly, and he was there, the Hindu guy. I don't know his name. I don't know why I don't ask. Like, there's something wrong with me. Like, why wouldn't I ask? I don't know, but I didn't ask. Anyway, so he's there, and very quickly we start to rise up, and I am now like dropped down in an audience, okay? I'm in the audience. Maybe, oh my gosh, maybe 4 rows up. And everybody around me looks to be like Indian or Hindu, something like that. And Middle Eastern looking, okay? And they're speaking a language I don't understand. But it's like this pageant, okay? So it almost looks like there's a king and queen. It could have been either a pageant or that's the way these people dressed, okay? But it's crazy. So I'm sitting there, and there are like all these like people up on a stage, right? But they are in the most amazing outfits. They are tapestried outfits. Okay, so they're so full of jewels and bangles and tassels, and it goes all the way up to the woman's neck. Like, and there's more than one. There's like they keep parading. It's not just women though, it's men too. So it's not like a woman's pageant, like that kind of thing. But all I can tell you is it was like a pageant. And each one would come out, and they would have like headdresses and tassels. And he was sitting next to me, by the way, all in white. And so tassels, and I can't even describe. I want to draw this. I can't even describe like how beautiful the outfits that they had were, okay? And then they were functional. So so like one woman came out, I guess it's a woman. She was so adorned, I couldn't tell. But I feel like from her facial features, she was a woman. Oh, and by the way, where we were in this hall, the hall had these like structures that went up like over the top. Like, there wasn't a roof. It was like structures, and you could see the sky in between. It was nighttime. You could see the sky in between. But then similar things were hanging off of gold chains and silver chains, were these structures just like their clothing. So they had this animal there behind a cage, and it wasn't a tiger, and it wasn't a lion, it wasn't anything that I've ever seen before. Something crazy. So then that's when I saw that, was when I thought, oh, this is a different world. Like, this isn't our world, because I don't know what kind of animal that was. It was like, looked like a hyena. It had stripes. It was bigger than any hyena. but crazy. And it was vicious. It was like trying to get out of this cage. The cage was all these gold brackets, and it was so spectacularly beautiful. I could not describe where I was. Oh, and we were in these velvet high back chairs that came to a point. I need to draw it. I need to show some, but it's crazy. So anyway, the first woman that came out, so she's in this dress, right? And it looks like she's corseted at the waist. But then the dress comes off almost like a house. Like, it comes off looking very house-like. And she stops, and the first layer, and it's huge. It's like her waist is like this, and 2 feet that way and 2 feet that way is the rest of the garment, okay? But when she opens it up, and she has these like box pockets and compartments and places where the metallic, and it almost looks like part of the actual garment is metal, like it's not fabric. It was crazy. But when she opened it up, she starts pulling things out of, she opens at the waist, she opens it up, and then she starts pulling like different things out. At one point, she pulls this obelisk out. It looks like almost like an egg and when she goes like this, all these colors come from it, and everybody in the audience is like, yeah. And I'm like, what? Okay, yeah, because I don't know. And I don't know what that was, but everybody loved it, okay? And then, like, different things were in, like, her pocket. At one point, she pulled out what looked to be like a great big spoon. People were clapping. I have no idea why, but everything was so ornate and crazy. And then at the very end, like, there was like 4 or 5 people like that, but then there was men too, but the men did not have the house dresses or whatever you want to call them on. And when the men would walk out, they were in garments that connected like your toe to your shoulder. Craziest things you ever saw in your life, but it was so ornate. You like looked at it and you had to look like 3 or 4 times. Sometimes the shimmer from them was almost impossible to see, because all you could see was the shimmer or the light that reflected off it. It was so beautiful. It was so amazingly beautiful. So, at the end of this, and it probably, I was there probably in real time, like a half hour, maybe 25 minutes, like that. Okay, so at the end, 2 people walk out, a man and a woman, and they're holding each other's hands, kind of like the king and queen, only because of how big the bottom skirt of this was, they were holding each other's hands, arms outstretched, like they were simply doing this, because that's how big the skirt she had on was. And it was boxy, like a box. And from the back of the stage, and it was a stage, it had like curtains and stuff. From the back of the stage, these 2 planks just start coming out, white planks. As they came out, the one guy, I want to say he was the king. I know that sounds crazy, but something in my head said, oh, that's the king and queen. Like, they were more ornately dressed. They were more than all this. At any rate, the 2 planks, they looked like white, like walk the plank planks. They came out from the back of the stage, like real slowly. And as they got to like their butts, the woman just like kind of parted her dress and sat. And then the king sat on the 2 planks. And so they both sit on these planks, right? And on the side is that animal and all this. And somebody walks out. This other man walks out. He is not dressed ornately. He is dressed in black. Kind of like the same outfit that my spirit guide that takes me to these crazy places. Kind of like the same thing he was wearing, only it was black, not white. And so they walk out. He says something to the audience, and the audience goes insane. And when I mean, they are throwing flowers, they are freaking out, throwing jewels or something, like little marbles that have jewels on it. it's hitting the stage, and they're just smiling. It is some sort of, I don't know, like like they were the benefactors to everything. Like, I'm telling you, king and queen is what came to mind. And then it was almost like coronation maybe or something, but nobody put a crown on their head. They had so much on their head, there's no way anybody could have put a crown on their people's head. Anyway, so when it was so exciting, I turned around to look at my spirit guide. He had light shining from his eyes, shining from his face. He looked like he was being melted with light, but he wasn't melting. That's a bad way to put it. How can I put it? He looked like he was being illuminated from the inside, right? And I looked around, and they all were like, light was coming out of their eyes and their face. It was exquisite. And I like looked at my hands because I wanted to see if light was like, it was coming from it was coming from all over. And I looked at their hands, my hands, to see if it was like coming off of me, and it wasn't. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. I want to, exude light. Oh my God, it was just so amazing and so great. So then it wasn't a curtain. It was like a black door that just kind of came across and closed, like a sliding door or something solid. And so that closed, and everybody started to get up, and they no longer looked like that. They started to get up and go. And I turned around to my spirit guide and I said, should we go? And he didn't open his mouth to speak to me, but I heard the words, I just wanted you to see this. And I was like, I said, thank you so much. And then I thought, maybe let me try to think thank you. So I closed my mouth and I thought, thank you so much. And it's very hard to do that, by the way. Can I tell you? It's hard to think the words you want to say to somebody because other things are coming through. And he just started laughing. And he grabbed my hand and we whirlwind out of there. And I literally came to myself in bed. I had a smile on my face I couldn't get rid of. I felt like I had been privy to like the Galactic Academy Award. I don't know what it was, but it was some of the most beautiful shit I ever saw in my life. I wish I literally want to paint it or show you. And I don't know if you've heard of this. If anybody has heard of anything like this, please put it down below because it was so friggin' cool. I want to go back. And so after that, I was like, when I came back to my body, and I was like so grateful. I kept saying out loud in my bedroom, I was like, thank you so much. Like, I wanted, if he was still around, I wanted him to know, like, oh my God, thank you. That was the most beautiful thing I ever saw in my life. And so I was like thinking about, I couldn't even sleep, I was thinking about it. And I was like, what the hell was that? Like, it couldn't have been from here. Even though the people looked like they were from here, it couldn't have been from here. It had to be somewhere else because we don't, like, this is the two thoughts I had. One, like, maybe we do exude that. Maybe there's a part of us that exudes light and brightness. I just can't see it, or we can't see it like in our daily lives, right? Or I wasn't here and we don't do that and they do. So one or the other. But oh my God, guys, I couldn't stop. I felt like I had gone to some ball. I felt like I had been privy to something that was very special, but I wish I knew what. It was really amazing and fulfilling. I felt so fulfilled after that. And I had a rough weekend. Like, I needed something. Maybe that's what it was. It was like, here, let me take you to the movies kind of thing by my spirit's guide, because I had such a rough weekend. I mean, it's been rough with Cozy and what to do. And you know what? I am humbled by my friends. I'm not going to go into what they have all done to kind of gather around me right now, but they understand who I am and how much Cozy means to me, because because they know I don't date, I don't go out, I'm not a partier anymore. I'm not. And stuff like that. And I think they realized like how important she was to me. And they came so hard for me. Like they were just so wonderful. And like, you know, you have a couple ride or die people. I have a couple ride or die. I got a few ride or die people that would do anything. So anyway, that's what happened. I felt like my spirit guides wanted to uplift my spirit and did. And in such a wonderful way. God, please go do out of body work. It is so amazingly wonderful that I wish somebody could jump in my brain. You know, did you ever wish that? I wish somebody could just jump in my brain and feel what I'm feeling, or see what I'm seeing, or think what I'm thinking, or know what I know. That would be so awesome. I wish somebody else on the other side did out-of-body work as much as I do, because I would love to know about their experiences and if any of them are similar. Anyway, whatever planet that was, it was amazingly beautiful. It was amazing. I'm not describing it enough because it was amazing. I love you guys. Bye. Oh, if you'd like to follow me down the rabbit hole that is my life, hit the button down below and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like these kind of videos. Thumbs down if you don't. Either way, I got you watching me manifest something lovely in your life. If you know it, think it, believe it, you can have it too. Like a beautiful out-of-body experience that refreshes your soul, makes you feel young, and makes you know that beauty is within. And there were so many thoughts going through my mind at that point that I was questioning everything, but at the same time I like felt like I knew some of the answers, you know, like, yes, beauty's within, you can glow it out, but unfortunately I didn't know how. I love you guys. Bye.